welcome to Bella's Corner. I'm so happy to have you here. Before you ask, I broke my tripod, so that's why we have such an awful angle right now. I wanted to talk about the very specific question of what were you wearing, because there is so much wrong with that, and if you don't know what's wrong with it, then that's why you're here. That's why I'm about to educate you. But more specifically, I'm going to talk about why I speak about sexual assault so much on social media and why speaking up about sexual assault isn't attention seeking. Because I've been getting hate, I've been getting jokes, I've been getting questions, what were you wearing, people judging what I'm wearing, saying that I'm going to cause someone to either sexually assault me, sexually harass me, whatever. That is, firstly, disgusting. Please stay away from me if you're going to be saying stuff like that. But it has stemmed this video because I think this is something that I really want to speak up about, because what I'm wearing and your opinion on whether my story is true or false really does not deny the facts of what happened. So I want to start off by saying I speak up about sexual assault firstly because when I first spoke up about what happened to me, people didn't believe me. And that is something that was so difficult to deal with. It happened in a relationship, and my ex-boyfriend was loved by everyone, so they found it so hard to believe that he would commit something so cruel, and so it made it really difficult for me to speak up about it. And I got a lot of backlash from a lot of people when I did eventually speak up about it, because they thought that, you know, I was either bitter that he broke up with me, or they were like trying to defend him. I kind of want to be that person that people can look at and be like, I can tell her, or I feel less alone hearing what she's like, that she's been through what I've been through. Especially, I spoke on one of my videos, it's called The Aftermath of Sexual Assault. I wanted people to be able to watch that and be like, I see myself in you. I see that I'm not going crazy. I see that everything I'm going through is normal. Also, the statistics just don't lie. It's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 8 men, and I think that is horrific. And it is such a thing that you feel like you've lost your voice when it happens, and I want to be able to be the voice for those people, because it's such a large group of people that go through it, that I know that I can reach those people. I know that people that feel like that they won't be able to speak up about it will at least be able to watch these videos and feel less alone. So no, I'm not making it up. The much asked question, I am not making up what happened to me. I'm not making up anything that I've ever spoken up about. I am just giving a voice to a group of people that feel like they don't have one. Now, the topic of what were you wearing is, to me, like one of the craziest things, because if someone were to ask me, or, you know, when people do ask me, like, oh, well, what were you wearing? It's probably your fault. I genuinely don't get offended, because that's just how people are going to be. People are going to ask these stupid questions and not believe the victim, and they're always just going to think that you're attention seeking. It's not a problem for me. The problem is when people ask other people, because I know that what I went through is the truth, and what I speak up about is the truth. I don't need other people to know that it's the truth. They don't have to believe me. But it really just angers me at my core when people go to survivors and try to blame them and try to say that what they're saying is a lie, exaggerated, that it was their fault, they shouldn't have been wearing what they were wearing, or that they were probably wearing something suggestive or inappropriate. If someone was wearing something that is potentially revealing, maybe shows some cleavage, maybe they have a little skin out, funnily enough, that doesn't mean that they're asking for it. Because if they were asking for it, it wouldn't be sexual assault. It would be consensual. So when people get sexually assaulted, whoever is sexually assaulting the opposite of the other person, they have full control of their own actions. They have full control. They can do whatever they please to do, and they please to sexually assault. They want to. They don't care about the other person. What you're wearing actually doesn't change anything, because yeah, maybe if you're wearing something revealing and someone looks at you and they're like, wow, you're attractive, and they hit on you and you're like, oh no, I'm not interested, maybe they actually have the control to be like, oh, okay, well, it was nice meeting you, or okay, like, I'll move on, I'll let you be. Have you thought of that? Just tell me real quick. Have you actually thought that maybe they actually have the control to step back and be like, oh, they're not interested, that's okay? Because that's my problem with the argument of what were you wearing? Because it doesn't actually matter, firstly, what someone was wearing. It doesn't matter if you were wearing something that maybe will attract attention, let's say, which even the statement of wearing something that attracts attention is so vague, because lots of different clothes can attract attention, whether they're revealing or you're literally covered head to toe. But let's say you're wearing something that attracts attention, or let's say you're wearing baggy pants, a jumper. The intentions of the person is still the same. They can still choose whether they listen to you when you say no. They can still choose whether they wait until you are consciously able to make decisions instead of being drunk or high or asleep. They can still choose to not be a pedophile and sexually assault little children. Now, let's talk about the problem with you actually asking someone what they were wearing or joking about it or anything like that. The problem is that being sexually assaulted is something that really affects you. And if you want to see the depths of how that can affect someone, you can go to my video called The Aftermath of Sexual Assault, and that explains it pretty well. But pretty much, you lose your voice. You can end up looking in the mirror and not even recognize yourself. You want to rip your skin off. The touch of any other individual, whether it be a hand on your shoulder, a handshake, a hug, anything like that, makes you want to vomit. You are compelled by the idea of being in a relationship and any intimacy. You feel like your body is no longer your own and it belongs to everyone else. For some people, they take so long coming to terms with the fact that they were sexually assaulted. For others, they take forever to accept the fact that it was not their fault. Some people fight so hard for the justice they deserve, and others fight for people to believe them. So when you're making these comments to people, you're not understanding the damage that you're actually doing. You are reversing all of the recovery that they have been through. You are making them second guess themselves. And you are giving the win to the sexual assaulter. So no, they were not asking for it. What they were wearing had no effect to what happened to them. And the fact that you don't believe someone does not make what they're saying false. Because it happened. It is the truth. Do not let someone convince you that you were attention seeking, that it never happened, and that it's your fault. Because you know what happened. You know the truth. Do not let people drag you down when they tell you that they don't believe you. Instead, continue to use your voice. Never stop speaking up about it, and get the justice you deserve. If you need someone to talk to, there are so many lifelines and helplines that you can go to. And of course, I'm always here.